Let's go and have a look at the 29 most expensive and rare cars in the world. Believe me, you'll be amazed by the Bloodhound SSC, the 1938 Phantom Corsair, or the superb Mercedes-Benz Bloom. Don't forget to click here to subscribe if you like this video and to activate all the notifications to not miss any of our next videos. Let's get started. Lovers of beautiful cars, here is a car that will not leave you indifferent at all. This little titanium jewel with an Italian design is called Volcano Titanium. Made in China, the supercar was born in 2013 and costs a whopping $9.57 million US. Converted, that gives you about 9.8 million euros. The icing on the cake is that there is only one copy in the whole world, so there's little chance to get it one day. Here is the Mercedes Maybach Exelero, a car that breathes luxury, inside and out, as you can see. By the way, don't expect to see this car on display at the various car shows because this model is unique, as it was commissioned by the German tire manufacturer Volta. As for its price, well, the Maybach Exelero costs only about 8.15 million euros. That's all it takes. Remember the movie Le Mans with Steve McQueen and his Porsche 917K? Well, this car that was the star of this racing movie is nowadays the most expensive Porsche in the world. Restored and then sold at auction after spending more than 2 decades doing nothing. This former race car was sold for the sweet price of $14 million, or a little more than 14.2 million euros. You have a good reason to be surprised. Imagine yourself in 1926. Mr. Bugatti, whom you know well, has just created this magnificent little jewel and allows you to borrow it. The dream, isn't it? Well, in 2022, the Bugatti Type 41 still exists, and you can see that it still represents luxury. Take a close look at this jewel, and you'll understand that it's not just any car. Not only is the Bugatti Royale a very old car, but it also has a luxury and robustness that was simply unimaginable at that time. However, it is said that only 6 models of this supercar were built, of which only 4 were sold. For those who are passionate about racing or fast cars, here's the Bloodhound LSR or Bloodhound SSC, considered more like a rocket because of its atypical arrow-shaped design and its supersonic speed, which is supposed to reach 1,609 km per hour. This English car equipped with a jet engine is really surprising. Take a look at how it drives. This is the Ferrari P4/5 by Pininfarina, a sports car of which there is only one example. Built in 2006 for car collector, the Ferrari P4/5 by Pininfarina is the product of 2 Italian automotive giants, Ferrari and the car styling specialist Pininfarina. As for its price, the Scarlet car with butterfly doors cost its owner $4 million. Which today is equivalent to a little over 4 million euros. Not bad. We often have a soft spot for old cars, and the older they get, the more their value increases, like the Tucker 48 for example, also called Tucker Torpedo. This car of American origin was produced in 1948 in Chicago. However, the period of its production was short due to some problems encountered by the company, and only 51 cars could be produced, which makes the Tucker 48 a very rare model. Did you know that the famous director Francis Ford Coppola himself owns a Tucker 48 that he keeps at home? At first glance, you might think that the Phantom Corsair is a very recent car, but in fact, it dates back to 1938. Designed by a certain Rust Heinz, the Phantom Corsair was considered as an avant-garde car due to its design and technical characteristics. After Heinz's death, this unique car was bought back and improved in some respects. However, it still retains all its former glory. See that car parked there? It's an Aston Martin DB4, an Old English car from the late 50s and early 60s. Don't get me wrong, despite its advanced age, this car is very strong and very fast, as you can see for yourself in this video. And then who says Aston Martin DB4 says a sensational and rare car and therefore very prized by collectors. Now we're going to tell you about another highly sought-after car, the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. We don't need to tell you about its technical specifications or its design, but you should know that the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 is one of the most sought-after car models thanks to a very particular characteristic: its speed. Far from offering maximum comfort to the driver, the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 was nevertheless an unbeatable car when it came to racing. Have you ever heard of the BMW 507? Those who love sports car and convertibles in particular will fall in love with this little car with its original style. For the record, the BMW 507, which entered the American market in the 1950s, almost drove the German company into bankruptcy because of its high production costs. But on the other hand, it was a very popular car that seduced many celebrities, including a certain Elvis Presley. Here is a rare example from Jaguar, the Jaguar XJ13, born in 1966. Its atypical design makes us think of some flying saucer, but this car was designed as a racing car. In the 90s, only 6 examples were built and put on the market, which makes it a rare gem in the world of cars. We present you the most expensive British car in history, the Aston Martin DBR1. Its price? Some 23 million euros at auction. A record price for this racing car that was manufactured in the 50s. Only 5 examples of this model were ever built, but this car, the very first in the line, is of course very special. Everyone knows the prestige of the Rolls-Royce, right? But what about the very first models of this car? Like this one, for example. This man is lucky to drive one in our time. If you like the movie Cars and its emblematic character Flash McQueen, you'll be surprised to learn that he exists in a real version. This is the Ferrari 250 Testarossa, one of the models of this legendary race car that dates back to 1957, was sold at auction in 2014 for just over 40 million euros. In early 2022, a car was sold at auction in the United States for almost 7 million euros. It is the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Alloy Gullwing, a butterfly coupe that has the distinction of also being a race car. Would you like to go for a ride in it? We present you the 1996 Vector M12, a sports car built by the American company Vector Automotive, based on the Lamborghini Diablo and equipped with a Lamborghini V12 engine. The Vector M12 has everything to seduce sports car enthusiasts, but to get one, they have to pay a significant amount of money. Some cars have managed to become real movie stars, like this 1961 Ferrari 250 GT SWB California Spider. It became iconic after its appearance in the movie Yesterday, Today and Tomorrow alongside Sophia Loren, and the beautiful Italian car was auctioned off for around 17.5 million euros, becoming the most expensive movie car of all time. And how can we not talk about McLaren F1? This car, and more specifically the McLaren F1 LM from 1995, it's one of the most popular sports cars. It must also be said that this car, easily identifiable by its orange color, was designed to be used on the road. This is the 1969 Chevrolet Corvette ZL1. Deemed rugged and powerful, this car, which was also intended for racing, has it all. Car collectors would love to have one in their garage. However, it is difficult to get one because this car is one of the rarest. In 2017, the Italian car manufacturer Pagani designed a supercar that is even more powerful than the previous models because it has been improved in terms of technology and materials. This is the Pagani Huayra, a car that was built in 100 copies, each of them costing only 2.45 million euros. That's all it takes. In Italy, even Alfa Romeo deserves a place in the list of the most sought-after sports cars, with its Alfa Romeo Stradale 33. The car, built between 1967 and 1968 in only 18 examples, is among the very first supercars in the world. In 1968, this car, which was equipped with the technology required for racing cars, already cost $17,000. Or about 17,400 euros. This is the Oldsmobile F88, an American car that shone at American car shows in 1954. It is true that this car was not very well known at the time, but you should know that it was a collector's delight. It is said that during an auction, it was sold for more than 3 million euros. Today, it is exposed in a museum in Colorado. It can be said that the Ferrari F40 LM is the Ferrari that fits all generations. The bad news is that this supercar would not be available anymore, but that doesn't stop you from taking a look at it. Among the rarest cars in the world is the Lycan Hypersport from W Motors. More than a supercar, it is a hypercar of Lebanese origin that has nothing to envy to European models. It is even equipped with the most expensive headlights in the world since they are made of diamonds. No need to tell you that its price is more than exorbitant. Lamborghini's 2013 Veneno is one of the most successful models, both technically and in terms of design. To afford one, you'll have to spend more than 11 million euros, and hope to find one already because this car is one of the rarest. You may not have heard of the 2009 Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita, but this Swedish car that has made a name for itself with its design and power is, for sports car enthusiasts, a rare piece that deserves its place in their garage. Its name is Sonda, and it is the pride of its manufacturer Pagani. Launched in 1999, this supercar has not ceased to seduce, which has led to the continuation of its production to the delight of aficionados who can't afford it. This is the Sesetta Moroder V16T, an Italian sports car produced during the 90s. This did not prevent its manufacturer from continuing to produce it afterwards, but only on demand. We wonder about the new price of this supercar, which cost about 665,000 euros at its launch. Can you imagine a car that emits oxygen and can be recycled as compost or building material at the end of its life? Here's a car that's unlike any you've seen before, the Mercedes-Benz Biome, a revolutionary automotive concept that debuted in 2010 in California. See what this unique nature-friendly car looks like. Now tell us in the comments which of these cars appealed to you the most. Do you know of any other cars or supercars that are as rare and expensive as the ones you just discovered in today's video?